think of how many horses I do. I'm guessing the amount of horses I do is probably right around 350 or so.
How far do you travel? What's the farthest you've traveled?
Farthest I go to Irvine. Right now, when I go to Irvine, it's pretty much a seasonal thing because they run the cattle in Idaho during the winter or during the spring, summer, and they bring them back down to work the ranch off of here while it's winter up there. It's like they'll be back down here in November. They usually go out there about every 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, this is a hoof knife. This is what we use to pare out the foot. That's basically the first stage of cutting a horse's hoof, was we clean out the bottom of it and what we call paring out the sole. This tool here is called a clinch cutter, and this is what we use to cut the nail heads off of the clinches off the shoe so we can remove the shoe. And this is called a hoof gauge. This measures the angle of the hoof. We'll set this on the bottom of the hoof when a hoof is between our legs and set it down there, and it measures the angle of the hoof. As you can see, we got little hash marks through there, and it tells you the different degrees. And that's used a lot on show horses and whatnot. This is what we call a pair of hoof testers. These hoof testers are used to find sore spots on horses' hooves and basically to find out where the horse is hurting. And it's pretty much by a pinch ouch method. These are a pair of nippers. They're 14-inch nippers. They have different styles of nippers, different lengths. This is what we use to cut the wall of the foot. They're pretty sharp. We try not to cut nails and stuff with it, and that's where these come back in, as we make sure the nails are out of the way. But this is basically like a toenail clipper. And this here is what we call a shoe spreader. Sometimes when we get a shoe already on the foot and we get a look at it and it's not quite set just right after we've already got it nailed, we will use it to separate a shoe, the heels of the shoe, and I'll show you how that works in a second. This would be like it was already on the horse's hoof, and we put this in between and we give it a little bit of a squeeze and it spreads the shoe apart. And it works really well when you're using it after it's already nailed on the horse. These are called pull-offs. These are made by Diamonds, and this is also a shoe spreader on the outside, which works like this. It's got grabs on both ends, and you can pull the shoe apart and spread it. This is also what we use to pull it off the horse's foot. Because after we use our clinch cutter here, we'll cut the edge of the nails off, and then put this in between the horse's hoof and the shoe, and we bind it, and it pops the shoe off. We also use it to cut nails and clinches also. And I think that's pretty much it. Terrible by the flattest pancake. The flatter of the pancake.
Show with it if you want to.
Yeah.
So Matt, still clear? You want me to do that?
Did you check Robbie's back? Oh, I have you do that.
I never even saw it. I checked with the board, he didn't think it was going.
Behind the saddle.
Tell me what you're doing while you're doing it if you can.
This horse, for some reason, must have took a wrong step or something and pulled the shoe off, so I'm just replacing the shoe. I'm just nailing the shoe back on the foot. And here I'm cutting the end of the nail off to make it what we call a clinch, and that's what actually keeps it on the foot.
No, she's not going to.
It's called clinch block. Clinch block holds the nail up a little bit. And come around the front. This here on the knee. These are called clinchers. This actually folds the nail over on your foot.
You know, after all that lunching, it made no difference. I think that maybe that much.
It's not a pretty
We're gonna what?
I need to shake some shutters here. I'm gonna go grab Noah. Start back.
Nope. Did this the first time, and then we were fine.
What are you doing with Ryan, Doug?
Keep working, you know, when he starts doing winter, I think he's being so good, we ought to not put with him.
Back to Plymouth.
I'm just putting another shoe on here that got lost. Got caught in a stall. Next Friday, Saturday. Oh. doing here is a barrel racing horse. Been doing pretty good lately. He's got a slight problem in his leg, and to compensate for the problem, we're elevating the shoe, putting a heel wedge on it, where you see the heel is thicker than the toe. Of course, this shoe's pretty much wore out, but the new shoe will show you. Cutting right now is called the frog. And the frog is like the heart of the foot. The frog is what puts circulation through the whole foot. Every time the horse steps down, it squishes this funny looking triangle thing, which is called the frog. And it pushes on another frog that looks just like it. It's called a plantar cushion inside the foot. The one inside the foot looks just like a sponge and is full of blood. So every time this frog hits the plantar cushion on the inside, acts like a sponge and spurts blood throughout the foot, and that's how the foot actually gets its circulation. Now is the wall of the foot, just like our toenails or our fingernails. Of course, don't feel any pain whatsoever as far as pain goes. What I'm doing now is checking the shoe for a fit. We always shape the shoe to the foot, not the foot to the shoe. Unless there's anything goofy going on with the foot itself, we'll pretty much stick with that way of doing it. What I'm doing here is rounding off the edges, so a horse don't have a tendency to step on the corner edge of whatever we leave out back for support. 9 times out of 10 a horse will come forward and sometimes may strike the shoe. Well, if there's a rounded edge where there's nothing actually to grab, it has more tendency to slip off rather than to grab and pull the shoe. What I'm doing here is I'm cleaning out the valleys. These are called the valleys of the frog. There's a valley on each side. What happens is if this isn't cleaned out, they'll become a fungus, like what we see right here. There's a black line right in there, and that's a fungus. a lot like athlete's foot. And what we do is we cut this out, keep the frog open, because what happens is when the frog grows, it grows and gets larger, and it covers these valleys and fills it in. You've got mud, manure, and urine and stuff stuck in there, and that creates a fungus, and the fungus will actually eat the frog and parts of the foot away. And it's basically like this right here. This is a good example of what thrush can do. It turns into a disease, and it's really, really hard to get rid of. It actually eats parts of the foot. So that's part of my job, is to clean that up and make sure we don't have a thrush problem. Keep the feet as healthy as possible, as far as keeping them open and getting let oxygen and light into it. Where's your lead rope?
I forgot it.
Let's use the chain this time. There you go. And hold her. Okay. Oh. Hold her still, don't let her bite.
I won't.
Oh, she's hitting me.
Rosie. Rosie, stop that!
She's getting mad. Make sure she stands still.
Rosie, you're hitting me?
The fly's bugging her?
I believe. Rosie!
Oh. Ho! Ho! Tell her to ho.
No.
Okay. Alright, good girl, Rosie. Got her? Hold her up there where you're supposed to. Right here by the chain. And a girl. Okay, good girl. She's good for about 8 weeks.